Alrighty, welcome back to the third and final game between Sparkling Dream, that is Eden's Embrace, and Lycomedes. The last game was the longest game of the tournament, 271 turns. That's a long one. And for the sake of my throat and my time with my wife tonight, I am hoping that we do not have a repeat. Here is game 3, and the loser will be out of the tournament. Sparkling Dream, that is Sunny Oros, that is Eden, that is Eden's Embrace, whatever you want to call him. He's on the bottom with a T-Tar. Lycomedes is on the top with a Metagross, and it's going to be a Meteor Mash on the switch to Fortress here, which is safe from anything other than Hidden Power Fire, which Sunny does have the discipline to scout for, and Lyco is going to bust out Machamp here, which we see does have leftovers, so he's not choice banded. 41% from Surf feels like a lot. Man, that thing has crappy defenses, huh? Goes bulk up here, but man, that's Surf. I might just Surf again. I think you would need a crit cross chop to actually punish my Milotic here. And there it is. Okay. Well, that was the actual only thing that could have happened there. A non-crit would definitely not have killed, and obviously cross chop can also simply miss. So that was rather lucky for Lycomedes, and that's going to give him a small lead here. Granted, the Machamp is very weak now, but killing the Milotic is a big deal. Now, I instantly think that this is the famous, the Double Water Undisputed team. It's going to be Last Poke Bliss. I've seen Sunny use this exact team many, many times. He really likes it. Undisputed made it originally, but Sunny has used it a ton in recent times. And yeah, he's going back to Old Faithful here. Old Reliable, seeing if he can get the job done here. Here comes Fori. And that is Hidden Power Grass, which is going to do so little damage, it doesn't actually even negate leftovers. So now he knows he can spike for free with no consequence. And he chooses to do exactly that, which I think is wise. The Machamp takes the opportunity to come in. He will die to an Earthquake here, plus the Sand, so he's going to have one last hurrah. And Gengar actually switches instead and blanks the cross chop. Well played there for Sunny. Has the discipline to not risk getting his Fortress crit as his Milotic was. And now Machamp is either dead or has to get out of the way and is going to be dead when he comes in on the spike in the sand. So basically he was dead one way or another. And Lyco's going to let it go right here, right now. And we've got ourselves a 5-5. 4 unrevealed Pokemon for Lyco. Lyco should know the whole team from Sunny. Meteor Mash there, 18%, no attack raise. That is not going to entice him to stay in against this Fortress that he basically can't touch. Or not, or it will. But the Earthquake pretty underwhelming. Fortress with a better Earthquake back at 30%. I'm surprised he didn't spike up there, but there is value in chipping the meta. And he went Earthquake again. I definitely would have spiked at least one of those times, but Sunny saw it differently. And in comes Gyra to blank the Earthquake and get an Intimidate off on the Fortress. Last Poke Bliss, as I told you it would be. This team is very well known at this point. And there's Hidden Power. That's got to be Flying. Rock would not have done that amount of damage. So HP Flying from Gyra. Pulls it back to Lax. And it's going to be Thunder Waved on the way in. So you would think there's a Magneton somewhere for Lyco. It looks like a pretty Magneton-friendly team to me. Pretty physically offensive from what I can tell. Seismic Toss and Curse, respectively. Curse-Lax is actually a tough Pokemon for this team of Sunny's. I've played this team or similar teams enough times to know that Curse-Lax is one of the harder pokes. It's not unbeatable, but it's definitely not what you want to see. Full power on the way in here helps. T-Tar crunches it and gets a Specs drop. But +1 Earthquake is serious business. That is 83% there. And T-Tar needs to either find a crit or a full para, or he will be killed here. And he does get the full para. So a little bit of hacks kicking in for Sunny at an opportune time. That's going to give him the advantage as the Lax goes down here. So Sunny up 5-4 in this deciding game. And it's going to be back to the meta, which is an interesting decision because it just doesn't... I mean, I guess Sunny can't go to the Fortress forever, but yeah, not only can that happen, but it just, you don't get through the Fortress with this meta either. I don't know. I think I would have gone to Gyra there instead. But I do understand why he went to the Metagross, but I think this is going to be a bad trade, right? Like, don't you lose the meta now one way or another, whether it's via attack or via spike? So it just keeps Lyco behind effectively. He's now just, instead of being behind 5-4, he's behind 4-3. Magneton does not have lefties, makes sense on this team. Should have Magnet. Here comes Bliss. And Thunder Wave on the way in. See if he can snowball that into some kind of tempo advantage by getting some clutch full paras, by switching something in. No, he just goes Hidden Power. HP Grass possibly, trying to get Purred on the way in, but that does not work out at all. Does very little damage to Bliss, gets hit with a Thunder Wave. Now he's going to try Thunderbolting. And over prediction from Sunny. That seems like a very obvious and clear-cut soft-boiled turn. I think Thunder Wave there is very greedy. He's now begging for a crit or a full para, but he's going to get bailed out, and he gets the soft-boiled off anyway. Sunny looks to be winning right now. I don't think this game is over, but it certainly feels like he's ahead. Certainly with that soft-boiled now, Blissey is out of danger from this Magneton. Full para kicks in. And there is S-Toss. On paper, this should be a good matchup for Lyco. The Curslax and the Gyra are both really good pokes against Eden's team. But despite what it should be on paper and what it has been in my personal experience, where those two Pokemon are particularly tough, it looks to me like Sunny's winning this right now. I don't see... I mean, we don't know Lyco's last poke. It could be like a DD-Tire or something that dramatically changes things. DD-Tire with HP Grass in particular would be probably the ideal last poke for Lyco to have and would be very helpful here. Additionally, DD Ments could be decent, but it might struggle with the Gar and the Swampert that are both going to have ice attacks. And then it also could be last poke Coon, which could be problematic here. So Lyco can still win depending on what the last poke is, but this Magneton does not have a lot of relevance, and it's going to go down here, and it really doesn't matter. So Lyco goes to Gyra. He doesn't want to show his last poke, which I would assume is probably the right decision. I would assume that's probably wise. Blissey gets out of the way. Here comes Fortress. And there's Dragon Dance. Fortress very well may have Explosion here, and I don't think there's a whole lot Lyco can do about that, given the circumstances. He can hope for a crit with Hidden Power, but he doesn't find one, and the boom is going to be the kill on Gyra, so it's going to be only the last poke for Lycomedes, and Sunny did send out the right poke in the Gengar. I believe this is the ball game. Ice Punch should be the end of it here, and if that is in fact the case, he's going to live, actually, but he's going to not only freeze, insult to injury, but he would have died to the sand regardless of whether or not he had frozen there. And with that, that is going to be the end of the tournament for Lycomedes. Sunny with his back against the wall after a very tilty set against Blightbringer, after a very tilty Game 1 in this set, after a marathon Game 2, Sunny is going to endure and survive, and he will stay in this tournament with his 2-1 record. Lycomedes will be eliminated with a 1-2 record. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed the set. My throat is definitely feeling it from that marathon Game 2. Please do give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the time and effort that goes into this tour, and I will see you guys soon for more content.